in the land of Alahoma, where the sun warms the red earth. Destiny is written the moment a child is born. On one such day, 2 cries echoed across the village, one from a poor hut, and one from a rich compound, 2 girls, born under the same sky, but their paths could not be more different. In the small mud hut Adan was born, she didn't cry, she sighed. As if she already understood life's sorrow. Her father, a humble farmer, rough hands, soft heart, Adan grew gentle, kind, beautiful in the quiet way the forest is beautiful after rain. Her laughter, it could heal sadness, across the village. Chika was born into wealth and pride. Servants rushed to her cradle, beads, coral, and silk surrounded her tiny hands. Her parents gave her everything except humility. As the years passed, the girls met in the village square. Chika strutted proudly, shouting, "See my beads. See my wrapper. I am the fairest of them all." Children stepped aside, but Adan only smiled. She helped, she shared, she greeted everyone with love. Her beauty came not from riches, but from her heart. Years later, as Alahoma prepared for the New Yam festival, drums thundered. Crowd gathered, and among them was the king's only son, Prince Okoro, handsome, noble. Chika stood in the center, glowing in fine beads. She posed. She smiled, she was sure he would approach her. But then, he heard it, a soft laughter. He turned, and saw Adan, feeding a hungry child with roasted yam, and in that small act, he found himself drawn to her. He began meeting her in secret places, by the river, under the iroko tree, in quiet corners of the village, but the villagers have eyes, and knows how to use them. She spoke of the land, of birds, of healing herbs, and he listened, not as a prince, but as a man in love. One night, under the silver moon, he took her hand and whispered, "One day, you will not be a secret. You will be my queen." Chika watched them from the window of her father's house. She saw the prince squeezed Adana's hand softly, and Adana placing her head on the prince's shoulder. A cold, sharp envy stabbed her heart. "Why her?" she whispered, clutching her fine wrapper. "She's just a poor farmer's daughter. I have the wealth, the beauty, the status. I am the one a prince should love." Her jealousy twisted inside her, growing into a dark, choking vine. Mama Ogu, Chika's mother, noticed the anger and sadness in her daughter. She was clever, and she knew the old, forbidden magic that a few dared speak of. One night, while Chika was crying bitterly, as if the prince was her birthright, she drew her close and whispered, "Don't cry, my child. The world is not fair. But we can bend it. You will have the prince. You will have the crown. I will make him yours." That night, under the rainy clouds, Mama Ogu prepared a magical potion. In a dark room filled with smoke and strange smells, she mixed chameleon scales for beauty, honey to make Chika's words sweet, and a rare root to cloud the prince's mind. She poured it into a small calabash and chanted, making the air feel icy. "Drink this," she said. "It will make you more beautiful than anyone. The prince will see only you. Adan will vanish from his memory." Chika drank it eagerly. But her mother warned her, "Never look at your reflection in the stream or in water drawn from it. The truth of running water will break the spell. Do you understand?" "Yes, mother," Chika said, her eyes shining with ambition. She didn't know that with every sip, she was also drinking her own doom. A week later, a royal decree announced that the prince would publicly choose his bride at a grand feast. The village buzzed with excitement. Every maiden adorned herself with beads, hairpins, and wrappers, hoping the prince might look at her. Adan's heart danced like a trapped bird. She dressed in her finest wrapper, a simple indigo cloth her mother had woven, with a braided hair. She was nervous, but her love for the prince was a steady flame in her heart. He had promised, and she believed. When the drums called, the villagers gathered at the town square. The air shimmered with anticipation. The king sat high on his stool, and the prince stood beside him, his face unreadable. One by one, maidens passed before him, bowing and smiling. Adan's eyes found his, and for a moment, her heart leapt. But then, something changed. The prince's gaze turned and stopped on Chika. "Her," he said firmly. "I choose her. Chika, daughter of the great trader, will be my bride." Adan felt the world collapse around her. The cheers of the crowd sounded like mockery. The ground seemed to shake beneath her feet. She saw Chika's proud smile, the prince staring at her with admiration, and her heart broke into 1,000 pieces. She turned and ran, past the huts, past the marketplace, tears falling down her eyes like rain. At home, she locked herself away, refusing to eat or drink. Her father knocked, begged, cried, but Adan's silence was louder than thunder. Finally, she went to the palace, her love giving her courage. Please. She begged the guards, her voice trembling. Let me speak to him. He must remember me. But Chika, already living in the royal chambers, had her. With a flick of her hand, she ordered, send that peasant girl away. I will not have her crying disturb me. The villagers watched silently, whispering among themselves, the gods has made the wrong choice. Adan's sorrows hung over the kingdom like a dark cloud. Chika's life in the palace was everything she had dreamed of. She wore silk clothes and expensive jewels hung from her neck and wrist, and the prince, still under the magic, adored her and obeyed her every wish. Her father, drunk with pride, would boast unbearably, each time he sits down at the palm wine shade, do you know who I am? I am the father of the queen-to-be. Soon I will be at the palace, beside the king. Chika lived in a golden cage. There were maids to serve her. The prince talks about her beauty, but she was always anxious. She remembered her mother's warning. Never look at your reflection in a stream or running water, or all is lost. The day of the final marriage arrived. The palace was full of activity. Servants carried food, cloth, and wine. Everyone waited for the big celebration. While the preparations was ongoing, a young servant girl came in from the river, carrying a heavy pot of fresh stream water on her head. She tripped on a stone, and the pot fell, spilling clear water right at Chika's feet. For a moment, everyone froze. Chika, annoyed at the commotion, looked down, and then she saw it, her reflection. For a single, terrifying second, she saw the beauty the prince had been enchanted by. But then, the charm faded. Her glowing skin turned pale and blotchy. Her sparkling eyes dulled, and her face twisted to show the envy and wickedness inside her heart. The magic shattered with a thunderous crack. Her beauty didn't just fade, it melted from her face like wax. A terrible scream tore from Chika's throat. She clawed at her face, trying to scratch the lie back into place. The crowd gasped. They saw her for what she really was, a plain, proud girl consumed by greed and jealousy. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It was my mother. She screamed, scratching her face. She made the charm that blinded the prince to Adan, and made him choose me. It was all charm. I am sorry, please forgive me. Prince Okoro blinked, as if waking from a long, heavy dream. The spell was gone. His eyes met Chika's, and then he remembered Adan, their laughter, their quiet moments by the river, her kind heart. Guilt and horror filled his face. Witchcraft in my palace. Lies in my family. Seize this girl and her mother. They are banished. Take them to the cursed forest of no return, and let the spirits judge them. The king thundered. The guards moved quickly. Chika and her mother were stripped of their expensive clothes and jewelries, and dragged into the dark cursed forest. No one ever returned from that place. Chika's father, who was once full of pride, was now a broken man. The palace took away all his gifts and honors, leaving him with nothing but shame. He walked through the village like a shadow, mocked by the people he once looked down on. Even the wine he once loved now tasted bitter with regret. Prince Okoro's heart was heavy with regret. He wore simple clothes and went to Adan's small hut. Kneeling in the red dust, he spoke to her with tears in his eyes. Adan, my heart was blind. I was strict. I cannot undo the pain I caused, but please see the truth in my heart. Forgive me. Will you accept me, not as a prince, but as a man who loves you more than his own life? Adan looked at him. Her heart, though wounded, was still kind and pure. Slowly, a gentle smile appeared, the same smile that had first captured his heart. A heart that is truly sorry can be forgiven, she said softly. Rise, Okoro. I will accept you, because your love is true. And so, Adan, the humble farmer's daughter, became queen. She ruled with kindness and grace, never arrogance. She and Prince Okoro built a kingdom based on truth, not lies. Their story became a legend, told for generations, a reminder that envy destroys itself, and that true beauty comes from the heart. It can never be stolen, it can only be earned.